4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Racing World, brought to you by Perspective Group. It's your motorsport podcast show in conjunction with Race Control Magazine.
Well, hi there. Temptation just got too much for me, and there's another little podcast show for you. It's only a short one, so it's not going to take up too much of your time as we count down to the double header at Belle Isle this weekend. 2 races, 2 days around the very, very demanding street circuit in Belle Isle, Detroit. It's a good venue, as we've said before, but it's very, very demanding and very rough as well, very bumpy surface. So we thought, what better? And we were able to track down a few drivers this morning, New Zealand time. So here they are to talk about Belle Isle, and there's a little bit more news coming as well. First person to start with, of course, none other than a Kiwi, and he's New Zealander Scott Dixon.
Detroit doubleheader, always excited. Doubleheaders are definitely a favourite of mine. Wish we had more on the schedule like we used to. Looks like the weather's going to be pretty decent, pretty hot, which will definitely be interesting, I think, with making sure you are not hurting too much for the second day and for the second race. But again, pretty tricky schedule. One fairly short practice of an hour and 15. And then going into each day with a qualifying session before the race. So hopefully clean weekend for us. Team's doing great at the moment. Plow's leading the points, currently second after we took a pretty big hit at Indianapolis. So yeah, just going to dig hard and try and get our championship battle on for the rest of the season, and see if we can grab another win there. But excited to get to Detroit. It's been a little while, so here we come.
Well, then returning to the car this weekend, Jimmy Johnson back in the number 48 after TK used it at Indy, and will use it again later on some selected oval events before the season's over. But for Jimmy, it's been a while since he's been in the car.
All right, Detroit GP, excited for it. Double header. It's been a little while since I've been in the car, so excited to get 2 races. I think the double event will give me a chance to really learn and understand the course, the car, and if I'm physically able, I think day 2 can be a much better performance for me. So excited to get to Detroit. Looking forward to being with the guys, being around. It was nice to watch the 48 car in action at Indy, but I'm very excited to be back in the car myself and looking forward to a great time in the Carvana race car.
Then a first-time visitor to this, or one of many first-time visitors to this venue, the man that kind of is turning some heads at the moment, Alex Plow, also from the Ganassi stable. News for Alex, though, however, is the team did an unapproved engine change before the start of the 500. This was outside of the rules, and it contradicts the rules, or goes against the rules, because it wasn't an approved engine change. Even though the teams do change engines for the race, this was an additional one, and they've been pinged for it just this morning by IndyCar. The result of that is that wherever Alex qualifies for race 1 at Detroit, he will then go back 6 spots on the grid. So that's the price he pays. But for Alex, yes, it's the first time in Detroit.
I'm super excited to go to Detroit for the first time. Never been there, but saw all the races, and the track looks amazing. The racing is super fun with lots of strategies and some really good overtaking spots. So yeah, the track looks a bit bumpy, but I'm ready for it. We're leading the championship now. We had a really good start of the season so far. So the number 10 entity data car has been awesome. And yeah, we're gonna try and be up there. We're gonna try and learn the track as fast as possible and have 2 really good results. So see you guys.
Well, that pretty much rounds out the Ganassi teams, but a few other drivers that we were able to catch up with. And one of those, previous pole sitter, you can see his grey Horizon P1 cap sitting just behind me. He graciously gave that to me a few years ago via the team manager at Andretti Autosport, Paul Ziggy Harkis, and that's Takuma Sato. Just very honoured to have that cap there. It means a lot to me, and I was very lucky to receive that from him. But he is one that has performed on this type of circuit before, and I think he's going to be one to watch out for. And you can just never count out Sato when it comes to this sort of thing.
I'm very excited to be back to Detroit because it's a fantastic race usually, and lots of history in IndyCar. And usually back-to-back after Indy 500, so it's quite contrast because it's one of the probably bumpiest track in the series as a street course. Last year, unfortunately, we weren't able to race due to the pandemic, but 2019, we had a very strong result. I got on podium finish on the first race, and second race was also very close to the podium, but we had unfortunately had a puncture. But the specification of tires, and of course the cars now has got aero screens, and of course condition will be very different. So can't say we can repeat easily for that performance, but usually the team had a very good, strong performance at Detroit. And looking at this year St. Petersburg, also street course, and was quite competitive race for us. So I believe we will be strong, and the team did lots of preparation, and can't wait to back to the Detroit double header. It will be very, very exciting.
Then finally, rounding out our selection of drivers, shall we say, for the Detroit Grand Prix preview show, one that's returning to the series as well, Romain Grosjean. Just superb seeing him at Indy Grand Prix. Well deserved to get that pole position for Dale Coyne Racing, and almost thought that he was going to sneak away with a win as well. But Romain is, he's doing everything. And he announced this morning that he's contemplating running at Gateway at St. Louis and will make an oval debut before this season is over. So big news there for Romain Grosjean. So what better? Let's catch up with him.
Hey everyone, here in Detroit for the GP. Brand new track for me, so a lot to learn this weekend again on the street course. I've done a few laps on the bike and looks like a super cool flowing street course. So very excited to discover that, but obviously a big challenge with the bumpiness of it from what I heard from the other drivers, but very much looking forward to get my Dale Coyne Racing number 51 on track.
Well, that rounds out the group of 5 drivers that we were able to catch up with as we count down to the doubleheader at Belle Isle. There's been a bit of news also this week about what will happen with the Toronto event, since we talked about it the other day with Bob. The latest news is there are 3 options on the table. 1, it goes all together and we come back to a 16-round championship. 2, then there's 2 options on doubleheaders. 1 at Gateway or St. Louis and 1 at Road America. So both those options have been weighed up right now. Both those venues actually did double headers last year as well, so it'd be very interesting to see what happens there. But IndyCar saying that the announcement is just days away, and we'll find out whether we're a 16 race or 17 race championship, and that will have a big impact on points this weekend, that's for sure, because you got to start getting those points now as we hit the halfway mark in the NTT IndyCar series.